All right, we are live, ladies. You guys ready?
Yes.
Ready?
All right, let's do this. What's up, everybody? We are live. Welcome to another session of the Cover Cloud Podcast. My name is Will. I'm the host of this show, the number one Polynesian podcast in the world. Oh, let's get it, y'all. What's up, you guys? I see you guys tuning in right now. Thank you so much. If you're tuning in for the very first time to my live show, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for watching. Of course, to all my subscribers out there, people to follow my content and support my journey on YouTube. Thank you so much for all the love and support. Appreciate all of you guys always tuning in to my weekly Saturday show. You guys already know what to do. If you support the content, support my journey, and support the platform, smash and press that like. Don't forget, I do have a disclaimer out there for everybody out there under the age of 18.
This content is not suitable for the children under the age of 18 without adult supervision. Please be advised.
Please be advised. Please be advised, if you're under the age of 18. If you're under the age of 18, I need you to go to sleep. All right, it's time to go to sleep right now. All right, all right. I see you, Ty. Ty, watching right now. What's going on, everyone? Canelo Bivol fight right now, man. I know there's a great fight after this live show. I'm definitely gonna check out all the highlights real quick. Ty, always thank you for always jumping up for every single live stream. I see Viviana Brenner. Hey, hi, hey, what's up, Viviana? Thank you for jumping on live real quick.
What's up,
Appreciate you.
Mom?
The first time I seen you. The first time I seen you. So thank you for being on the live show. But yeah, nevertheless, we do have the live chat as you guys can see. So appreciate you guys always coming and watching my show. But definitely drop your comments, concerns, your perspectives, your opinions on the live chat. I always appreciate you guys always dropping the feedback based on the variety of topics that we're going to be discussing tonight. So let's get that live chat popping, y'all. Don't forget, this is a live show. So I always like to invite people that are watching this part of the audience. If you guys want to be part of the conversation and come on and have an open and respectable discussion with us, I always invite people to come on. I'm definitely going to post the public link on the live chat. I'll pin it to the top of the screen. If you're watching this from Twitch or Facebook, you have to come to YouTube because I'm going to put it on the YouTube live chat. So if you're watching from Facebook or Twitch, if you want to click on the public link and be part of the show, you have to come to my live chat on YouTube, click on the link, and you can be part of the conversation. I know there's a lot of people out there may disagree. I know I have a lot of haters, people out there triggered by my content.
How dare you?
But hey, if you disagree with me, come on, have a conversation. Let's just talk that out. I urge you. So I encourage all people to come on, have this conversation, especially people that disagree with me, because I do believe one of the foundations of a healthy relationship is open communication between men and women. So let's have a whole open and healthy discussion, whether we agree or disagree. But nevertheless, I do have the super chat, so I appreciate everybody every single week. Always jumping on and supporting me financially with your pockets. I appreciate you guys always supporting me financially with your donations. You guys already know every single donation will be reinvested back into my content to give you guys better quality content and also build my podcast studio. I'm planning to launch my podcast studio by the end of this year, so I can have live podcasts with ladies in the studio. So appreciate you guys. Like I said, thank you for always supporting me. The best way to drop a super chat, ask it through a question, ask it through a topic. So if you have a specific question or topic that you guys want us to discuss, if you have a specific question or topic you want to ask the ladies, ask it through a super chat. I'll make it a priority. I'll put it on the top of the screen, give you a shout out, and also we'll be able to discuss it and respond to you live on the show. I see the weed smoker. Both ladies look amazing, gorgeous. Wow. All right.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, weed smoker. Thank you for jumping on. And thank you for the live comment. We have a great show for you guys real quick. But pretty much that's all my YouTube stuff. Let's get the show started. First and foremost, I just want to say to both the beautiful ladies, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day and having a conversation tonight, late night conversation tonight, based on topics we'll discuss. I appreciate you guys. I'm very honored and privileged to have you guys here on the show. But without further ado, I know there's people in the live chat right now watching this, and they're curious. They're curious where these beautiful ladies come from. They want to know who you are. So, ladies, can you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves real quick? What's your name, your age, what do you do, and what's your relationship status for all the single fellas on the live chat right now? Start it off. Ahriel, go ahead and introduce yourself real quick.
All right. So what's up, guys? My name is Ahriel. I am 22. I'm about to turn 23 next month. I'm from Pennsylvania, and I am a aspiring singer. I've been doing it since 2019. It's been going super well, and yeah, that's what I do.
All right, no worries. And what's her status? Her relationship status, Ahriel?
I am in a relationship.
All right, she is in a relationship. All right, no worries. Thank you, Ahriel. Thank you, Ahriel. I really appreciate you being on the
Thank
podcast
you
tonight.
so much.
No worries. And I'm gonna pass it to Amanda. Amanda, go ahead and introduce yourself real quick.
Hi I'm Amanda. I'm from Rhode Island. I'm 32, but I get like 25 a lot, which is good. I'm a single mom with 3 kids. My relationship status is single.
All right, no worries. All right, thank you so much, Amanda. Viviana Brenner said, "True born New Yorker." Facts. All right, no worries. Ladies, thank you so much for introducing yourselves real quick. But let's get right into it. Let's get the show started. As you guys know, if you watch my podcast, I always like to start off my show with a hot topic. So, ladies, prepare yourselves. I have a very hot topic I want to discuss. And I think a weed smoker responded to Amanda. He said that, what do you say right here? Boom. Need another or smoke daddy? I don't know who is he talking to. I don't know what it is. And then Ty said, I did sense a East Coast vibe tonight. All right, so we can definitely got the vibes going tonight. So yeah, I have a very important topic I want to bring up real quick. It's a topic I do see that's always viral and trending on social media. Let me play it real quick. And you guys happen to know who Kevin Samuels is, ladies?
Oh, I think I heard of him. He recently passed away, right?
Yeah. He's a social media content creator, and he does a lot of content when it comes to relationships. So he did pass away, so rest in peace to him. But I guess I just wanted to play a video I did see that was going trending on social media, and also some videos related to it. But let me play it real quick. Ladies, if you guys don't mind, I'm gonna put you guys on mute real quick, so that way so the videos it sounds a lot better when you guys hear it, and also for the people that's listening right now on the live stream. So I'm gonna put you guys on mute real quick, and I'm gonna play the video, and then I'm gonna ask you guys. It's a 1 minute 30-second video. Yes, all right. I see Ty said R.I.P. to Kevin Samuels. Yes, R.I.P. To him. That's why I want to play a little video to kind of dedicate that to him for tonight's podcast. But yeah, after we watch the video, I'm gonna ask you guys a reaction and also the topic I'm gonna bring up real quick. So let me play it real quick.
What would you rank your looks?
Ladies, you can hear it, right? Okay, cool. All
First
right.
face out of the shower, your natural hair.
A 10.
Your face?
Yes. A 10. I'm always going to give myself a 10.
Who is better at self-improvement, men or women?
Women.
Self-improvement, definitely women.
Okay, rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10.
10s across the board.
10,
oh, period.
Okay, isn't saying you're a 10 admitting there's no room for improvement?
No, not at all.
Isn't the first step towards improvement admitting you're not perfect?
You're right.
Yes. We were perfect. We just said
We
we
said
were
we're 10s.
That doesn't. You didn't say that being on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being perfect. Correct.
Well, what would be perfect then? On a scale of 1 to 10?
There is no perfect, really.
Isn't the first step towards improvement admitting you're not perfect?
Yes.
Yes, 100%.
So then why would you admit that you're a 10, which is perfect?
Because you should feel in your own way that you are perfect,
Yeah, you
because
should
that's
embrace
confidence.
that, because that's manifesting that you are a 10.
12.
Isn't saying you're a 12 admitting there's no room for improvement?
Ooh, you got me. No, that doesn't.
No, because, I mean, universal scale?
You gotta speak in the microphone.
It's a universal scale. We're talking about like 20, right?
Right.
So like, there's always room for improvement. We just think highly of ourselves,
Yeah.
but there's always room for improvement. We just think highly of ourselves.
Well, isn't the first step towards improvement admitting you're not perfect?
No, it just means that there's room to grow, right?
Yes.
It just means that
The
there's always
room to grow.
I didn't say we're perfect. We just said we think highly of ourselves.
All right. So that was a video I saw that definitely got some trending, especially on TikTok. And also, I think it's also something that I do see that's always brought into attention. A lot of conversations between men and women when it comes to how we judge ourselves as far as our sexual market value of in the dating market, and especially our realistic expectation standards of what type of person that we can attract. Um, I've done this podcast with multiple people on this podcast, and also I've seen other content creators and content online. I do see sometimes there is a pattern of behavior or trend that sometimes people don't really know where they stand as far as their dating sexual value, and they have very unrealistic expectations. I don't know if you guys have friends that are like, oh yeah, I deserve Drake, right? Hey, so like which is fine if that's what you want out of life, but I do understand like you have to be like realistic of where you stand. So obviously, I do want to point out for everybody out there to make sure I clarify that there is a difference between personal value and sexual market value. So personal value means as a human being, yes, like we're all tens as a human being. I'm sure everybody out there in this world are great people doing great things. So I want to make sure we're all, as a human being, that we are all respected and valued and treated equally. But I also understand there's a difference between personal human value, but also your sexual market value as far as like how attractive are to the opposite sex, right? So one of the topic I want to bring up because oftentimes I do hear from a lot of men and also the women as well, but just coming from the men's side, they often say a lot of modern women have no awareness of where they stand where they stand in the sexual market value. So as far as the men, for men, like I think we have a general idea. Just coming, by talking from my experience as a man, we have a general idea of where we stand. And of course, men are very honest about each other when we have a conversation. Like we just keep it real with each other when we talk to our friends as men. But we generally know that for most women, what they're attracted to in a man is their height, how tall he is, how physical fit he is, uh, his financial status, and socioeconomic status. If he be able to take care of you financially, uh, his emotional intelligence, his intelligence. So we have an understanding that these are things that women are attracted to, and also there's data out there, there's science out there that proves that these are also specific things that women are attracted to. So as men, if we have like we know what women are looking for, and then we have like we look at it ourselves. Okay, I know I'm not this height. I don't have this amount of money. I know I don't have this specific physical attributes. I don't have this level of intelligence or whatever. And we kind of gauge, okay, this is where I stand. So this is kind of the type of my level of woman that I probably have the best shot to get if I do one. But I'm not saying you have to. You can go out there and shoot for the stars if you want to go for Beyonce, Rihanna, or somebody else, a supermodel. Hey, you can do that. But I think it's realistically speaking in the modern world, you have to know where you stand. Um, but I do see that for men, we're very honest. But one thing I do observe a lot of times for women, because oftentimes for men, we're very direct. Like if a guy's broke, hey, you're broke. If a guy's fat, hey, you fat dude, hit the gym. Like I speak like this. That's how I speak to my friends. But I know if I talk to women, even though like objectively she has these certain things, I know for a fact I can't be very direct. And I know oftentimes for a lot of women, when you talk to your friends, you can't be really, really honest. You kind of give them like a soft version of the truth. But I think sometimes that kind of like makes women, if they don't really hear the truth, like be unrealistic of what they want. So my question is for you ladies, like, how do you know? Like, I'm sure you have conversations with your friends as well. But do you like? How do you know as a woman of where do you really stand, as far as like your value in the sexual marketplace? Like, do every single woman, as that video said, that every woman believes they're 10, and like they're 10 in the sexual marketplace, or do you have that type of conversation? I mean, I want to bring up that conversation to hear, because I do think it's one of the most things I do notice in when it comes to talk between men and women. But I do realize that there's a whole generation of both men and women that we have this unrealistic expectation of, I want this guy, he has this, and this, or women will be like, the men will be like, oh, for the women, I want her to look like this, and this, and this, and this. And I'm like, well, have you taken a look at yourself first to see that everything that you want, it's that you reflect that? Because I always believe that the more you want out of life, like if you want quality, you have to be quality. Like I believe that that's a general rule. Like, so if you want more in life, then you have to be more. And I do that. I think that works for success. That works for everything we do in life, but also relationships. So, but I just want to open up discussion. So, yeah, as you saw that video, there was that guy was like interviewing all those girls, like, hey, you think you're a 10? They're like, oh yeah, I'm a 10, I'm a 12. Right? Which is for me, it's kind of unrealistic because if you're absolutely perfect, there's no room for growth and improvement. And I know as people, we're all imperfect, we have our flaws. And I think that's important, especially when it comes to relationship. But yeah, that's the question on the topic I want to bring up. How do you know, like, how as a woman, both you guys are ladies, how do you know where you stand in the sexual marketplace when you're out there trying to find a partner? So I'll start it off with you, Amanda. What do you think about the question and the topic? Oh, let me.
Uh,
Yeah, there you go. There you go. You're good. There you go. Oh,
can you hear me?
Yeah,
there
you're
you go.
good.
You're
You
good now.
keep
You're good.
saying, would you say sexual marketplace?
Yeah, yeah, place. Yeah.
So like physical wise, like are they rating themselves like physical, mental, all that?
Well, yeah. I mean, it takes all that consideration. So physical, mental,
Yeah.
spiritual, whatever you put that all together, that's your value, how you see yourself, of how you see yourself.
Wait, what was the question again? Sorry.
So yeah, how do you gauge? Like, how do you gauge? Like, obviously, I'm sure you had those conversations. Like, oh, what is he? Is it one? Is he in the zodiac? How, like, how does that look?
Oh, like that, like where they are, like how we
Yeah,
rate.
I'm sure. Have you had that conversation with your girlfriends? Or like, oh, what is he? Is he a 3? Is he a 5? Is he a 10?
Yeah,
Men do that. We do that. For men, we do that as well. But for as a woman, like, how do you know where you stand to be realistic?
yeah. I mean, we definitely rate guys like based on, does he have a job? Does he have a car? Like, do you know what I mean? But I feel like it's more of like women are just so much more mature, right? Like majority of women we're a lot more mature than some men, and we're like me. I'm very independent, so I think it's more of like, can he keep up type of thing. Like it's more of like you got to catch up with me. Like you got to be on the same wave as me. You got to have your mindset, your money right. Like you got to be working. Like, you know what I mean? So I think it's more of that. But as far as rating, what are you asking like about rating women? Like how that should be defined?
No, I'm just like I'll give you guys a perfect example. Like as men, we know the specific things that most women. Of course, there's always the exceptions, but we know most women, they care about our height. They care about your height, right? So if you're not 6 foot, if you're 5 foot, it's tough out there in the streets. Right?
Yeah.
So we know your height matters. We know financial ability status matters. We know your intelligence matters as well. You can't be an idiot. All right, maturity, emotional intelligence matters. So these are general things we know as men that women are attracted to. So if a guy out there is 5 foot, broke, no emotional intelligence, and what was the last thing I mentioned? I forgot. But if he has those, if he has,
no, I get what you're saying.
He knows like he's in the bottom of 1 or 2 as far as the attractive scale from 0 to 10. Like he knows that already. And if he doesn't know, then he's delusional.
Yeah. But
So
I
how
feel
do
like
you do that for people? How do women do that? Because men, we know this, and we also let other men, like our friends, we keep it real with each other. Like we don't hold back when it comes to like being realistic. But for women, like how do you do that for yourself? How do you do that for yourself?
I just feel like for men, like, well, for us, I feel like we rate ourselves based on not only being attractive on the outside, but the mental part too, right? Like if you're not stable financially, if your mindset is super negative, if you're like, I don't know, hot ass mess, like do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. As far as guys go, I feel like we can rate them. Like we all have that little checklist and you can have all the boxes checked. But if you're missing 1 or 2, that's okay. That's how I am, at least.
Okay. All right. No, no worries. No worries. Let me pass it to Ahriel. Ahriel, what do you think? What do you think about how do women know where they stand in the sexual market place as far as they know?
For me, based on my own experiences and my conversations with many people, it all comes down to their self-worth and where their confidence is. Also, what they think of themselves and also what they know. So it's all about perception. And that's why like things like this, I used to do the whole, oh, I rate this person, 9 out of 10, or I'll give them a 5 out of 10 or whatever. And at that point, like I've grown so much throughout these last, I want to say like year and a half. I grew up super insecure and all of that stuff, always worried about my appearance. I wanted to be attractive to other people. I wanted the approval of other people so that I can give the approval to myself. But as I've gotten older, I've learned that at the end of the day, what we want from people is really what we want to be able to give to ourselves. And I used to always say, oh, I want this in someone. I want someone who brings me flowers. I want someone who's going to be attentive to me. I want someone who's going to, care about me or rub my feet and, give me a spa day or whatever. But I learned you can't expect that from someone else, especially if you're not giving it to yourself. Like I can draw myself a hot bath and give myself a spa day. Yeah. I can rub my own feet, and like I don't believe in rating anymore, because just seeing someone from, I see them across the room, of course, my perception, if I think that person is attractive, the person next to me might think they're not attractive. And it's just on preference. And that's when it comes to that visual, sexual preference on what we see. But there's been so many instances where, you're judging a book by its cover. You didn't even read and open up the first page. You didn't even look at the back of the book to get some type of insight of what it's about. Because I've met so many people that seem super weird, or like, I judged them and I was like, oh, you seem like, oh, I think I know who you are because you look like this person. And then a conversation happens and I'm like, oh, you looked cool, but you're actually really fake. Or, you were really quiet, but, you are holding a super intelligent conversation with me. And I don't think scales are fair to anyone. And when it comes to, me rating myself, I mean, it only caused me trouble for years. Like, I was so into makeup for the wrong reasons, so into clothing and fashion for the wrong reasons, trying to look good for other people. And even if I wasn't comfortable in something, I would only be comfortable if someone gave me a compliment. Like, oh, okay, it does look nice. But now I've learned that for me, as long as I think I look good in the mirror and I tell myself I look good, whether anyone else believes it or not, it doesn't matter. And it doesn't, because it's all about perception. Because this person may think that I'm the best looking person in the world, and the person over there is probably like, she's hideous. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, it's all perception. It's just like you're putting your value into the hands of people that you don't even know. You don't know what they like. Once you find out, like, oh, he likes my hair up. Oh, she likes my hair curly instead of straight. Then you start to change because you want to give them what they like. You want that approval. And it's not bad, but up to a certain point when you can't make those choices for yourself. And that's where you start going to other people and you don't trust your belief, your own, you don't trust yourself. So you're like, oh, I don't know. Should I go for him? So you start asking your friends, hey, what do you think? Do you think he's hot? Do you think she's sexy? Do you think she'll like me? They don't have the answers. They might, they're going to go based off what they think, but that's not your mind at the end of the day. So it's just like that topic has been very difficult for me now, because it's just like it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Like there is no, like, if you like me, you like me.
Okay. All right. No worries. Thank you for sharing that, Ahriel. I think Fatty, shout out to Fatty with the super chat donation. He said, fair or not fair, Michael B. Jordan is still
All right. Disappeared for a minute. Sorry.
No worries. So I would say this just to respond to Ahriel. I totally agree with you. I don't like the scale either, because you can't really put a. I don't like to put like a limitation on what people think what attractive is, because attractive is something that we can work on and we can change and improve on ourselves. And I think that sometimes if we focus on that a lot as a society, I know that can cause a lot of insecurities within a lot of people. So I don't really like the scale, but I would say this: I do believe that everybody should have a general understanding of the intersexual dynamics of what makes you attractive to the opposite sex. If you want the best probability to attract a good man or a good woman, like perfect example, you said, you might see somebody that you like, and some people may not like them, some people may not like them. It's just perception is different for every single person, woman. But I will say this: there is a common general truth that most women like a man or attracted to a man that has some form or degree of financial stability. Most women will not like a guy that's still living with his mom at the couch and playing video games all day with no ambition, no goals, right? Even though you might meet him at, like, maybe you met him at a public place at the park, and you guys are having a great conversation, you guys are connecting, the dialogue is great. But as soon as you find out that he's living with his mom, no ambition, no goals, no job, then you'd be like, oh, no.
Right.
You'd probably be like, the dialogue was great. We had a good first impression. But we all know that most women, they care about a man's financial ability to secure that security for her. So that's what I'm saying. So we don't have to have a scale, but it is important to know what men and women are looking for. And then if you know it, then you kind of give yourself an understanding of where I stand. Because if you're a man out there that has no job or career, but you want to date the most attractive, women out there, or the good women out there, knowing there's other competition, other men out there, they're all competing for the same women, and they have a financial job and a career that can support the woman. For me, it would be kind of delusional for you to think that you have a shot.
I mean, you don't go to the red carpet in a sweatsuit. So that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
So from a very realistic standpoint, if you as a guy live at home and no goals and ambition, no job, and rely on your mom to pay everything, if you think that you're gonna get a good woman and a beautiful woman, I think that's delusional, right? So you have to know where you stand, right? It's important, and I think so that's from the men's perspective. As far as, like, I want to ask you, ladies, so, like, well, how do we know that? Because I know I listened to your responses, and I know this is probably the first time we had this type of conversation. And I know Amanda was like, I don't know. but I don't blame Amanda. You're very attractive, so you don't know. You just I'm doing a whole life.
No, I will say one thing I wanted to say after you just spoke was that I have 3 kids. So if I have to take care of a grown man on top of 3, I'm not doing that. Do you know what I mean? So it's one of those things where you just get to a point where it's like, I'm already doing all this. So you either got to get your shit together, or I can't raise an adult when I'm already raising 3 kids. And I'm
you
still
need someone who knows how to take care of
them.
themselves.
Yeah.
So here's my question I want to ask you, ladies, because I did bring that example, right? For most women, we have a general understanding of what most women want. They want a man that's financially secure. They want a man that's tall. They want a man that's has some kind of physical looks strong as a man. You can't be a fat blob, right? Looks like he's strong. It's a good gene. We want some good genes passed on to your babies, right? You want some D1 babies. You don't want some D4, D5 babies. You want the D1 babies. All right. You want a man that's emotional. He's mature, emotional intelligence, right? He has some kind of common sense as far as intelligence. So men, we know this, and a lot of, and for men, we know that if we want to attract a good woman and a very attractive woman, that we have to work on these things, right? But so what I want to ask you is, do you know the things, what do you think that men want in a woman, the same way that we know as men, we know what women want. So we kind of know how are we gonna be perceived by women but that's by these specific things. So I want to ask you guys, do you know what men want? The things that most men are looking at, the general truths of qualities of what most women are looking for. And I want to ask you that question. What's your answer to that? What do men are looking for if they want to, no matter where you stand as a woman, whether if you're, whatever what age, what doesn't matter what demographic.
Yeah.
What do most look for?
I think they're looking for like not a mom, but someone to just like, like motivate you, like comfort you, nurturing. I think a lot of men want that. I mean, even if
Okay.
whether or not they have a, mom around in their life or they don't. I mean, I know in my experience, I dated someone that didn't have that motherly figure in their life because their mom was on drugs and literally wanted me to be like the motherly, and I was young, I was not doing that. So
Right.
but now he's with someone way older, and she did that for him, which I couldn't do. So I think it works. But I mean, yeah, I just feel like that's what guys want. They want someone who's, I think they want a woman who's secure. I think they want a woman who's confident, who knows herself, who, I mean, I think some guys don't really want independence. I think a lot of guys want you to listen to them, but I mean, that's just my experience. But I think for me, like, I'm very strong-willed, have my own mind, like I'm doing whatever I'm doing. So like I'll check in with you, but at the end of the day, it's my choice, you know what I mean? So I think that's what men want at the end of the day.
Okay. All right. So definitely wrote that down. All right. We'll definitely come back. I'll come back to you just to kind of respond to everything that you said. But yeah, Ahriel, what do you think? What do you think most men are looking for if they want to take a woman seriously? Make them a long-term partner. What do you think most women are looking for?
I feel like the values, especially for today, are, a woman who is, secure in herself, her mind, her body, how she talks, the way she dresses, what values she has, being clean, being, strong-willed, someone that knows what she wants, but not to the point where they want someone who they can be friends with, but also be in love with. They want someone who they can be on a team with. So not someone who's just, oh, we're together, but you're completely doing your own thing and I'm completely doing my own thing. Like, talk to me, ask for my advice. They want someone that they can communicate with. Whether or not people have those communication skills is a different story. But at the end of the day, they want someone who they can talk to. They come home and, talk about their day at work, or, she comes home and talks about her day at work, or maybe not talk at all. I feel like they want that equality in a home, both. I feel like it's getting more to the point where, they want to be able to have a woman that can take care of the home, but at the same time, they want to be able to do that as well. And I still feel like it is a thing of, they want to make sure that they can provide, and they want a woman that will allow them to provide. They want to be able to make themselves feel like a man, but they also want a woman who will allow them to feel like a man, but have that same equality, not like, she's just home all the time and, he's working all the time. I feel like they do, they do want that partnership, but I feel like there's a lot of communication that we're missing that just hasn't allowed a lot of us to get there. And especially because we get social media too mixed up in it. Like, everybody wants to go on a vacation, but can you go without posting on your phone the entire time, taking pictures and posting them the entire time? Like, can we go together? Can we just be here together? Can we put our phones away? Can we read a book, stare at the sunset, watch the water, maybe do something fun, go skinny dipping. I don't fucking know. Like, just anything, but do it together. So, and especially someone that's not going to look somewhere else. And I feel like that's big with men, especially because they do that very often. So them knowing that they do that, they're like, okay, well, I don't want a woman doing what I'm doing right now. And I feel like that's where a lot of the problem comes in, that they're not being truthful to themselves. Because it's like, if they look at a woman just because it's so normalized, and even if they're checking her out for a second, it's just like, oh, well, that's what we do. But at the same time, where's that communication? Like, maybe your girl's okay with it. Maybe she's not. But if she does that, how do you react? And your reaction, a man's reaction will always tell where they are. Because they know they're doing something that they're not supposed to. Most of the time, they're going to give you shit for it.
Yeah.
So
Okay, all right, no worries. Thank you for sharing that. I do see some people, some more people coming on the chat. See Simone King. Hey man, peace King, peace to the family. Simone King. Oh, thank you for being on the live chat. Peace to you, my brother. Thank you so much for jumping on. I think I think Fatty just dropped a super chat. Shout out to Fatty. Fatty, it's actually the opposite. Strong will equals stubborn stubbornness. Being
might be
stubborn.
right.
Okay. All right. I know Ty said he said men want respect.
Oh
All right.
yeah,
for sure.
Right. So, and I think Viviana Brenner, she said, I feel it depends on what generation we are talking about. All right.
Definitely.
Thank you for everybody on the live chat, man. I appreciate you guys always tuning in and dropping your feedback. Definitely get the live chat pop in and let me know what you think. I just posted the public link on the public live chat on the YouTube. So if you're watching from Facebook and Twitch and you want to be part on, click on the public link and invite some of the fellas. Hey fellas, we do have some room. So a lot of ladies are trying to tell us what we like. So if you think it's not, if you have a different opinion or you disagree, jump on and share it and have a conversation. I invite you guys to be part on, and of course, don't forget to smash. But yeah, ladies, thank you for answering and responding because I was listening and I kind of wrote down a lot of the things you guys said, and I always find myself when I do have these conversations and these topics too. When we ask women, what do you think what most men think about? Oftentimes, the answers that you guys give is often through the lens of a woman, and a lot of times what you guys you think that what men want is totally what I think Patty mentioned on the live chat. It's totally like the opposite. So I know there's a major list, but I think just to keep it very simplistic, because I always tell women for men we're very simple. We're like monkeys, we're like dogs. We're very minded, but doesn't matter. But we're still intelligent, but we're very simple. To keep it simple, we just want food, we just want sex, and we just want appreciation, and we want respect. That's pretty much.
Oh my god, I can't.
Oh boy.
That's pretty much what it is, right? And let me just go, and of course, let me just go over a lot of things you guys said, right? Because I have conversations with men, and of course, there's a lot of studies and data out there scientifically that kind of proves this. But as far as from obviously, I'm talking about masculine men, the men that most women want, right? Most women want a very ambitious, confident, assertive, disciplined man. So I'm talking more as far as masculine men, and for most masculine men, they want a feminine woman, and they want a woman that's submissive, right? So oftentimes when I do hear from a lot of women, they think that being strong-willed, and I don't know the context of what that means. So I'll let you elaborate. But there's nothing wrong with being strong-willed as a woman. That you're very strong emotionally as a woman. You don't take no bullshit.
Yeah.
I like that in a woman, right? Especially if there's gonna be a woman that's gonna be the child of my kids. I want her to be able to protect them. But when it comes to dynamic of a relationship, for men, we already I always say that our traits have to complement each other. So as men, if I'm very strong-willed and confident as a man, and if we're gonna fit together a lot more in a relationship if you're submissive. So if I'm very strong-willed and very disagreeable, and you're as a woman very strong-willed, disagreeable, we're gonna fight a lot of times.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna fight a lot of times, especially when it comes to making decisions for the family, making decisions what we need to do. So that's why for a lot of men, we are more attracted to feminine women who are very more agreeable, because when it comes to discussions, because for most women they want a leader. If you ask most women, hey, I want a guy that leads the family, I want a guy that protects the family and the center of the household. So what men are saying is, if you want me the leader, you have to. I think Ahriel, you mentioned you have to allow him to be the man.
Right.
Right. So if you want, and I have this conversation with a lot of women, if you want a man and you want him to lead and be that strong provider, protector, for a lot of women, you have to allow him to be that. But for a lot of men, what they're saying is when they are with women who are very independent and very strong-willed, oftentimes it's hard to lead them and lead the family and be that man in that family if she's always battling my leadership.
I feel like that has a lot to do with trust, because when we trust someone, especially very deeply, it's a lot easier to, you know, listen to what they have to say, take that advice. If someone is not willing to give that trust out to someone, especially if it's their partner, they're going to be very focused on, you know, always making their own decisions. And whether that's because they always had to do that, or they've been through situations where they couldn't depend on someone else, then, you know, they've become like that. And
Yeah.
again, I feel like it comes down to communication, and especially with that, respect.
Yeah.
Because, you know, when you have that trust and respect, you know, you can sit down, and even if it's something that a topic of discussion that can be very heated, having that trust in each other, knowing that you're both looking out for each other, you have each other's best interest at heart. So it's not like you're going to make a decision that's, you know, solely for one person and not the other. And I feel like that's why, because we have this mentality of, oh, I have to always look out for myself because no one's looking out for me. That's why we constantly, you know, clash heads and we have these arguments, because it's always about, you don't know what I want. But at the same time, most of the time it's not being communicated because that trust is not there. And I feel like everyone's have been hurt so much that it, like, there's just this wall that people put up. And then when it comes to connecting with anyone, even if it's on a friendship level, it's almost impossible unless they are willing to give you some kind of trust to have an open conversation like we're having right now, and not feel like, you know, I'm going to be attacked every time, or not trust myself to know how to handle whatever comes to me.
Yeah.
So that's where I see it.
Yeah, no worries. Amanda, do you want to respond? Do you want to add on?
Yeah. So in my experience, so I am very strong-willed, but that doesn't mean I like to argue, because I don't. I love my peace, but in my experience, I've dated guys that they want to lead, but I feel as though, can you lead? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you can lead, because your actions are showing you can't lead, right? So that's obviously why those situations didn't work out. But yeah, I think a lot of men want to lead, but I think that they haven't done the work themselves to be that leader, right? Like, we all have to face our whatever we go through in childhood and whatever. We all have our demons, right? And if you haven't dealt with them as you get older, they just follow you, right? So I think in my case, in my experience, people need to deal and work on themselves before they can lead and be that leader for your family and do all the things. So I think a lot of times it sounds good, like, oh, she won't let me, you know, do this and this, but it could just be because, like Ahriel said, like, we're used to just, you know, taking care of ourselves. We have that mindset, but also, like, you're showing me you can't lead. Like, you're not here. Like, you know what I mean? So that's what I think.
No, that's fair. That's fair, right? Because, you know, I always say this. I do believe this. You know, for women, I do believe every woman should be submissive. But my caveat to that is, you have to be submissive to a man who knows how to lead.
Yeah,
right? You can't be submissive to any.
Exactly.
Right? He has to be deserving. He has to be deserving of your submission.
100%.
That he has proven himself that you could trust him to lead you and the family and the children. If he hasn't shown you that, then you should have that wall up there now.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, that is fair. You know, there's a lot of men out there that try to, like, they think they're leaders, but they're not, or they have no idea how to lead.
Yeah. And I don't think it's like they intentionally don't know how to lead. Like, I think maybe they didn't have that figure in their life. Maybe you know what I mean? Like, not everyone has the same family dynamic, so it's not their fault necessarily, but you can't just expect a woman to just, because you're with them, go ahead, like, take the lead. You know what I mean? Especially a woman who's smart and is not, just going to let whatever fly.
That's true. There's a lot of men out there. They never had the strong father figure. They never had good examples. obviously leadership is a skill that has to be learned. A lot of guys have never had that taught to themselves. Um, I did I had a question. Yeah, so I do want to. So for you is when you meet, I always, no matter how strong a woman is, I always believe that you could be a strong, independent woman, but if you align yourself with a strong man, I believe that that natural submissiveness, that femininity will naturally come out.
Oh
Is that
yeah,
true?
100%. I think it definitely takes. Listen, some guys are very intimidated, right? When you're attractive, they just I don't know, they're intimidated a little bit. Like, oh, let me just I don't know. They just act certain ways because of that alone. But I forgot what you asked me.
No, no worries, no worries. Let me give a shout out to
What did
Fatty
you
real
ask me?
quick.
I forgot.
Fatty said, "Sex, sandwiches, and silence." Thank you, Fatty.
Silence. No, I
All right.
think silence depends on the guy because I know some guys that love to talk.
No worries. No TL. He said that wanting and actually leading are two different things. Hence, why there's a debate between the good guy versus nice guy. All right. Thank you for sharing that. Absolutely true. And then Ty said, "Is it the guy not being able to lead, or was it her expectations?" Oh, that's a good question.
Good point.
Yeah, that's a good point. But I do I wanna ask you this, Goods. Say that you do meet a man, right? So say Amanda, because one of the things I do when I talk to men is like, women have boundaries for themselves or what they or for what they look for in a relationship. But I know men also as well have boundaries as well as far as like what they look for in a relationship from the woman. And oftentimes that's why when you meet a woman that's very disagreeable, very combative, or very masculine or strong-willed, what a lot of the men are saying is it's hard for them to exert their boundary or let them know, hey, this is my boundary. I would like you to follow, to respect my boundaries as a man. But then a lot of times if they meet these types of women who are very strong-willed, they don't want to respect his boundary. And I want to ask, so this is a question I want to ask you, Amanda, is like, if you meet with a good guy that is willing to marry you, take care of you and your children as well, and he's proven to you that he's a strong man and you can trust him, are you open to his boundaries that he has he has? And I think one of the boundaries that I do notice for a lot of men when it comes to today's modern world in 2022 is like how women express themselves sexually on social media or in real life.
Oh
I
yeah.
think for a lot of men, they don't because I always say biologically for men we're very territorial when it comes to our woman's sexuality.
Yeah.
We want our woman's sexuality to only be shared with me, and we don't want that to be shared with all other men. That's something just how men feel. It's for us as men. But in an age today, in a modern society today, where it's normalized for women to post, sexy pictures of themselves online, for a lot of men, they don't like it. They don't like it. And if you meet a woman, because a lot of women say, "Hey, I want a guy that's strong. I want him to be a leader. I want him to try to protect my family." The guy's like, "Oh, check. I fit all the check. I check all the lists, all the boxes. Here I am." And the woman's like, "Oh, great." But then the man is like, "Okay, I checked all your boxes as a woman. I'm a leader. I'm a strong provider. I'm loyal, and you can trust me to take care of you and protect the family." Now, my checkbox for you is, please don't express your sexuality out there on social media and post very provocative pictures and stuff on social media. And a lot of women were like, "Hey, I don't want to follow that." And that's why a lot of men will. You asked me to be the leader, and now I'm just giving you one of my boundaries. But I know that's one of the things that's often brought up in discussion is, if you do meet the man of your dreams, that the right guy for you, are you open to to his boundaries? And a lot of times, what men are saying is, if they do meet the very modern women, and we tell them, "Hey, can you please cover up? Can you please don't push yourself sexually on social media where people think you're still single or you're advertising yourself?"
Yeah.
For a lot of women, that could be a problem.
Yeah.
So I want to bring that up to you. Would that be a problem for you, Amanda? If you meet the right guy and he's like, "Hey, can you please just be more conservative on social media?"
No. I don't think it would be a problem. I think I would, because it comes down to respect, right? Like, I mean, at the end of the day, you're in a relationship, right? So whatever attention you're trying to get on social media, you should be getting from your significant other.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, that's what we do it for, right? I mean, at the end of the day, I know I sometimes wear dresses and show off my new tits, like it just because I think it looks cute. But it also brings, men obviously commenting
Weirdos.
inappropriately, and it just opens the door to a lot of things. So I think even if when I have that guy in my life, if he's posting crazy pictures too, I'm gonna be like, what are you doing? And I'm gonna be stalking the comments. So, but I also will say that because I run an online business and I know a lot of women that business wise on the internet, they want to brand themselves, they want to look a certain way. I think it would need to be like me halfway type of thing because I mean, not for me, I don't really care to show whatever. But for some women, if it's as far as your business goes, as far as like branding, whatever, or are you wearing whatever your clothing line and stuff like that, like obviously you need to do that. Like you're not getting away in my money. Like, I mean, that sounds crazy, but you got to meet me halfway. And obviously my relationship is more important than money, but like, this is my business. This is my brand. I think that would be the only case where there should be a little bit of leeway. But I definitely think it comes down to respect. Like, but I do also know men that want their woman showing off all of it, like for the attention, and they don't mind it at all. So I think there's two different kind of guys because, yeah, I know guys that have no problem with their girlfriend wearing close to nothing when they go out to the club and everyone's looking at her and he's with her. So I think it all depends on the guy too. But yeah, it just opens the door to a lot of BS. So
I would say this. I know you said a lot of men out there that with women who they just show everything. They don't really care.
Yeah.
Are there men out there like that? I can agree, but I think there's a lot of men out there that's just afraid to express their boundary to a woman. Because I think we live in an age today. If I tell a woman, "Hey, cover up," a lot of times a lot of women will be like, "Oh my God, he's so controlling. Oh my God, he's suppressing my sexuality as a woman," or or you're misogynistic. And a lot of men are like, "No, like this is how I feel as a man. Like I'm very territorial."
I can see that too.
I love your beauty.
Yeah,
a lot of guys are afraid to tell their woman, and a lot of guys are afraid, especially if the woman's very attractive, that she might leave. If I tell her to my true intentions and feelings of how I feel about her, she might leave me. And a lot of guys are afraid to do that, so they just let the woman. But the thing is, I think Vivienne just put it on the comment right now. She said, "Lay everything on the table and don't expect me to be your mom. Live up to your promises. Don't treat me like a piece of meat. Respect always in the bedroom. It's open to what we feel that day." All right, thank you. I think it's important for us to lay out our expectations of what we really want on the table.
Yeah.
And if that person's not with it, then that's just maybe not be the person for you, right? But I think it's very toxic if you know that there's something that you want, but you're afraid to say it, and it's causing you issues in the relationship, and that's just gonna fester within you over long periods of time. And I think doesn't work out. I think a healthy relationship is we both lay out our expectations to the table, and we both provide each other our needs, and it's open, transparency, communication. But if you're afraid to tell your partner what you really want, I think that's a problem, right? That's like a red flag right there that your partner something with you or something with your person. Ahriel, did you want to add on to that, Ahriel?
Definitely. I feel like with a lot of people that I met, like I've met people who don't care about what their woman wears, and at the end of the day, they're like, she's my woman. If she wants to wear something because she thinks it's cute, I'm gonna let her. As long as she's not, running the streets naked, because that's not even safe. Never have. But, oh my God. it all just comes, it's preference. If you are worried about other people looking at your woman, then you need to know not to go to a bikini model if you want to be in a relationship with her just because she makes everything. But if at the end of the day, you're going to constantly be, oh my God, she has another shoot. Like she's going to be, getting dressed or like half naked all the time. Well, that's her work. So it comes down to that respect. And like you said, Amanda, like if it's for work, having that understanding and respect, like, some people do it because they want that attention. A guy will post, a photo with no shirt, oiled up or not, whatever, for attention. A girl will post a picture in a bikini for attention, or it could be for a photo shoot. Maybe they're modeling for, swimwear, gym wear, whatever it is. Also having that understanding is very important. But it also goes back to laying everything out. What are you worried about? What are your insecurities? Those are your boundaries, but these are mine. I want someone who's not going to tell me what I can and can't wear, or, I don't mind, changing up my style a little bit to make you comfortable. But at the end of the day, I feel like there shouldn't be shame on anyone. There shouldn't be shame on someone who's saying, hey, can you cover up a little bit? There shouldn't be shame on anyone that's, doesn't have a problem with, someone being a little bit more, posting more to the sexual side. So it just all comes down to preference.
Yeah.
You shared a great point, and I know Fatty. Shout out to Fatty, because does the business has to do with promoting your body. I would say that, man. If a woman is making money and her social media is her business, and that's how she financially supports herself and also our family, I think that's fair. We have to meet halfway, right? But I think what he's saying is just don't post thirst traps, and we all know what that is.
Yeah.
We all know the difference between a professional picture to promote, and women know the difference between a professional picture for the business and a thirst trap. And we know what a thirst trap looks like. And I think a lot of women will post thirst traps under the guise of, oh, this is only for my business. But we clearly see, and that's
but it is for your business, right? It is. I mean, to a certain extent, I'm not gonna lie. Like they teach us in my business, like, listen, people are buying stuff because of you, right? So you show you when you go out, what you wear, whatever the case is.
Before you sell the product.
Yeah. So I just feel like it is business a little bit. I mean, it really is. As far as marketing and branding yourself, like the thirst traps here and there, like it's what comes with it. At least in my what I see and in my business, it's not like, it may be because of the fact that we live in a world where everything is acceptable. But I mean, at the end of the day, sex is what sells at the end of the day. So if this person is randomly coming across my page and sees a cute, or a guy sees a cute picture of me wearing a little skimpy shirt, he's going to follow me. And then who knows if he'll buy product, you know what I mean? So it is business at the end of the day.
No worries. Well, this is the thing. I mean, I understand it's a business, but I think no matter any business or any success for me, because I mean, I'm very driven, I'm very ambitious, and I care about my success. But my family will always be number one over my success. I will never jeopardize my family and my relationship with my wife for money, because I can always make money. I can always make money. But finding a good woman, and especially the mother of my children, that's only one opportunity I get, and I gotta make that work, right? But the thing for a lot of men are saying is like, we all know, why do people post pictures of themselves on social media? We all know it's attention, right? That's why most people do it. It's for the attention. And what a lot of men are saying is like, if you allow your woman to post her body on social media, what's happening in that dynamic is you're competing for her attention with all these men, right? The attention that you should get in a relationship should always come from your significant other. I think for men as well, we should never seek attention from other women on social media. I think we should always seek the attention from our women as well. And I think one of the risks, that's why for me personally, like I think if you allow your woman to do that, that's fine. But one of the risks is that becomes she's very addicted to that attention from other men. and especially what I've seen in relationships of people that are on social media, and especially in America, where relationships don't work out a lot statistically. What happens on social media is we all know there's going to be issues and hard times and struggles in relationships. So what happens is when you go through those hard times in relationships, and you're probably not in the best as far as like you probably don't like each other, but you're just going through a hard time. And then all these men are on your social media. Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? A lot of women will start shifting to those men, and that can be one of the risks of allowing. For me, I like to keep my private life off social media. If I have to use it as a business, that's great. I will do it.
Yeah.
I think when we go through hard times, we shouldn't look for social media, and as I think we shouldn't. Social media should not be something that we put a lot of priority into.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people on social media who are very insecure with themselves and their bodies, and they need it to feel better about themselves.
Yeah.
And I think that's very dangerous if you be partnered with that person, because if you're not bringing that attention to her and she feels inadequate for social media, and it's for a lot of, and when things get hard in a relationship, and if I have to be real with my boundaries, hey, this is what I really want, and then she doesn't like it, you know what? She's just gonna go back to social media. So I think that's just from the men's perspective. What I've seen. That's why it's kind of like if it's gonna be a risk if you're with a woman that's always on social media posting pictures, and men as well. What do you think? Anything you want to add on to that?
I mean, it's just the access, right? Like that's what it comes down to. Regardless if you're posting pictures or not, if you're going through a tough time, you can easily slide in that DM.
Yeah, exactly.
And if a woman's not aggressive, who knows, that guy can slide in hers. So it's just the access part. But yeah, no, I agree. I think it is dangerous to date someone who's heavily needs that constant, what do you call it? Gratification. Is that the right word?
Yeah.
That is. No, that's definitely men and women both. But I think also like you're getting into a relationship with that person, like you kind of know where you're at, you know what I mean, what to expect with that person. So you have to have that conversation of, okay, so what do you do when these guys slide in your DMs? Or how do you, like, are you entertaining it while we're still together? Or are you, liking in the comment and that's it? Like, you know what I mean?
All right, no worries. Last question, ladies, before we move on to your topics. I wanna ask you guys to be real now. I wanna ask you to be the whole back on this one. So I mentioned before, for a lot of men, we know that if you're broke, unambitious, live with your mom at your couch, no ambition, no goals. We know you have no shot. Like you have a small opportunity to get a person out there. So me and men, we have this understanding. So do you have so you as a woman? What's the reflection for the women? Like if a woman's this and this and this, you have no shot. And I want to ask from the woman's perspective. So men, we know you're broke, living your mom, have no car, living no goals and ambitions. You're broke as hell. We know you have no shot. The only woman that probably love you, God bless your mom. That's why we have our mom to always love us unconditionally. But yeah, we know this. But I think I want to hear from you guys. For women, if they do, this is probably not a good look, or probably not a good place you need to be if this and this and this.
Yeah.
And I'll start with you, Amanda. What do you think?
Okay. Well, I feel like me, for instance, like I have 3 kids. Do you know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, guys are like, I don't want a woman with 3 kids. You know what I mean? Not all guys, but majority don't want that responsibility, which I get because I have friends and they're like, I'm not dating a guy with kids. And I'm like, girl, hello, I'm a mom. Like, you know what I mean? It doesn't mean we're bad people. You know what I mean? Life happens. You have kids. We're getting older. But yeah, I think that's definitely something guys look at like, I don't want to date her. What else? Definitely not having a job. But I honestly don't think there's much on the list. I feel like if you're an attractive woman, a guy is going to give you the time of day. And even if you're not financially stable, I think the guy wouldn't mind taking care of you. If he's in the space to take care of you also. If he's not, then yeah, he's gonna want you to have a good job or whatever. But I think for us, there's not as much pressure financially, because the fact that they want to provide and take care of you.
Yeah, of
What
course.
else? Yeah, I think for men it's not that deep, but I could be wrong. I think they just want us to look good. I think honestly, guys are just very like physical. Like they want you to take, if you're not taking care of yourself, if you're sitting on your ass all day, like, you know what I mean? Like you don't clean your house or clean whatever. Like I think stuff like that they care about. They don't want to deal with
No
that.
worries. Of course. Ty said, what if your mom is disabled and she lives with you and you pay for everything? What do you think, ladies? He lives at home with his mom. She's disabled, but he pays for everything. That's okay with you?
So he lives at home with his mom because he's physically helping her do things. I wouldn't look at that.
Yeah. His
I wouldn't
mom
look
is
at that as
disabled.
I wouldn't look at that as a bad thing, because that shows your character, that you care
Yeah.
enough to take care of your mother.
Also shows that you have the ability to take care of someone else, especially to that extent. And the fact that, you know, you cared to do that, period.
Yeah.
It just shows a lot. And for me, I would have respect. I have respect for people who do that. And that wouldn't determine anything. It's about the reason. If you're just, you know, at home living with your parents, just being there, damn couch potato, you know, you're just, whether you're working or not, but you're not doing anything for yourself, trying to grow in any type of way, whether that's business, spiritual, educational, something. It says a lot about you.
Yeah.
No worries. All right, thank you. Right, Ty, you have a shot. Ty, you have a shot. All right, and and Ty, I think when you tell that to women, don't say I live with my mom. Just say my mom lives with me and I take care of her. That's a better way to say it.
Yes, that part.
Started off.
No worries. Yeah, Ahriel, the same thing when I ask you is, for women, if you do this, you probably don't have a good shot of attracting of men.
I mean, it's like, for me, it's all about, if I can't give myself that, I'm not going to expect someone else to give me that. If you want someone, if you're a man and you want a woman who, can travel with you or go on vacations with you, or, go out to eat, you want to go places together, you want to get dressed up, or maybe you want to stay in, you got to know who she is. If she's been doing that already, because that'll show you, okay, she's already used to this, or she's not used to this, it's going to be a change. Are you willing to teach her and, share these new experiences with her and lead her through the way? Or you're going to get mad because she may not know how to, she's never been on a plane before. She doesn't know how to go through an airport. She might be stressed out and you're like, why are you stressing? I've been on an airplane a bunch of times. She needs to have that experience, and, you need to be able to be there for her through those experiences. If, you're going to be with someone that's never done these things before. And just that understanding. And again, with the communication, hey, I want to do this and this with you. I know you haven't done it before, but, are you willing? Yes or no? Okay. And then go from there. My last relationship was exactly that. He stayed at home, didn't want to do anything. I was just like, really, COVID was over. I was turning 22 now. I didn't get to be 21. I really am trying to prioritize being a young adult responsibly, of course. But, I want to be young. I want to go out and have fun. And he did that through, when he was younger, like 16 and everything. I didn't have that opportunity to go out and have fun, party, friends, whatever. So I wanted to do that. But all he wanted to do was just be home and, just chill all the time. And I'm like, I've done this till I was 19, 20. I'm over it already.
Yeah.
But it's just like, at the end of the day, it really did teach me, if you have to be with someone that aligns with you, your values, and who's willing to have that communication with you and either try new things or be okay with them not trying new things. And you either going by yourself or having other people to go with you and them being okay with that. And, that was one of the main things that I learned, with my music, I'm constantly talking to a lot of people. My Instagram is constantly being blown up with people who want to, have opportunities, make music with me, make videos with me, do photo shoots with me. And it became a thing of, I saw it was coming from insecurity. Like, oh, you're always talking to these guys. Well, I'm sorry that,
Yeah.
the entertainment business is very saturated with men. There's not a lot of women who take initiative to, do these things, and there's not a lot of them out there that, are so outgoing in that way. And the fact that I understood I need to do these opportunities, especially if it's a good opportunity for me and it's been respectful from day one, then, you know, he wasn't okay with that, and it did was I lost money, I lost opportunities, and I was like, yeah, this is just not like, it's just not working. I can't, you're telling me you're being supportive, but at the end of the day, when I'm talking music or business to someone else, you have a problem with it because you're worried about where it can go. When I already have established, when I'm in a relationship, I am focused on one person. I am, if we have no issues, we have communication, we can work through our issues when we do have them. There's no need. There's no need for me to look for anyone else. Yeah, I post, Instagram pictures, videos all the time, whether they may be a little bit on the sexual side in terms of like visual, like, oh, she's looking at a picture in a sexual way or whatever. It's not that I'm looking for validation for other people, but you have to understand that this is my work. And I need you to understand that I'm not looking for validation or attention from anyone else. I want it from you. But the moment that you stop giving it to me, I'm going to have questions. Who you giving it to? Why are you not giving it to me? What's going on? Let me know. And,
No worries. Yeah, thank you for sharing that, Ahriel. I see I can't say this username, but all the way from Twitch said if she doesn't cook and prefer takeout, I wouldn't want to be in that relationship. Okay, thank you for sharing that.
Cook for yourself.
Yeah, I feel guys are about the looks, and then they get to know the woman. Some men will say, "Oh, she's too pretty, she's no good." Prejudgment. I feel men have a simple short list of the acceptables. Yeah, like I told you before, we're pretty simple. We're like dogs. Just feed us, have sex with us, and appreciate us. It's all and respect us. That's all we look for. But I would say this: like I think when I asked you that question, I think for most men, based on my conversation with most men, especially men who are very masculine, that I think they prefer to be the leader and the provider, protector for the woman. I think the two deal breakers for them, for those men, is like women that already have kids with another man, and then are women who are very promiscuous, hoes,
She belongs to the streets.
All right, so women are in the streets. So I think those are the two biggest for most men. Like, hey, like as long if you feed me, if we have good sex, and we appreciate my leadership and respect me as a man, as long as you're not out there, being in the streets and making it seem like we're not in a relationship, and as long as you're, it's my child and I can raise my own child. I think that's just what most men care about. But yeah, ladies, thank you so much for opening the conversation. Thank you I know it was a little hot topic, but thank you for entertaining that the hot topic, and thank you for answering, responding to everybody on the live guests. Thank you for everybody on the live chat. Thank you for all. I see a lot of you guys always giving us your feedback. I appreciate all your feedback on the topics we're discussing. And don't forget, the public link is on the live chat. So if you guys want to be part of the conversation, I want to invite you guys. Come on, man. Come on. Let's have a conversation with us. Click on that link on the live chat on YouTube. And of course, don't forget to like and subscribe. And I see some people from Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube as well. But let me pass on to ladies. I know you guys have your hot topics for yourselves. So ladies, don't hold back. What are your topics? And we'll go right into it and discuss it. And I'll start with you, Ahriel. What's your topic that you want to bring up? And let's go right into it.
Topic for me. There's so many things that the one big one that I've been thinking about a lot through this conversation is the perception that we have of people because of social media. And then when we're not looking at social media, the perception of people that we have. based on ourselves, so our own experiences and like things that we've gone through, because it's just like someone said a comment, yeah, the men that are scared to walk up to a woman are pussies. And in a sense, I feel like that comes down to, if you see a woman that's attractive, just to automatically think, oh, she's trouble, is just, first of all, I find that shit so unfair.
Yes.
Because it's not like she chose to look like that. You know what I mean? In a sense of like, you know, her face structure, like the way her eyes are shaped, the way her eyebrows are, her lips, her nose, you know, unless she done got plastic surgery, then, you know, that's a different story. She literally chose that face. But if you don't have the confidence to walk up to a woman that you find extremely attractive because you're worried about other people doing the same thing, then that is a you problem, not a her problem.
Yes.
And I think that's not talked about enough, especially with men as well. Like, oh, he's, you know, he's fucking hot as shit. Like, he probably got bitches in his DMs all day. He probably fucking around and doing all this stuff. Like, get to know the person first. And I feel like people are so scared just to get to know someone, because getting to know them means an attachment. And it doesn't have to be that deep.
Yeah.
It's not fair to them, and it's not fair to you to think that you can't just, you know, go up to someone and have a conversation, or especially if you think someone is attractive, it doesn't always have to lead to something else. If it does and you guys are cool with that, then that's great. But if it doesn't, then, you know, that's okay too, and everyone should be okay with that.
Yeah, no worries. All right, thank you. That's a great topic. You know, for men out there, when they see a very attractive woman, they have prejudgments, and they're afraid instead of approaching them. And that's a really good topic. I'm gonna, before I give my piece, yeah, Amanda, anything you want to add on to what Ahriel said?
Oh no, I just 100% agree. People, like, guys will, especially like in college, you meet different people all the time, and they're like, oh my God, you're so nice and you're down to earth and you're not stuck up or whatever. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not any of those things. I'm really not. You know what I mean? But they're like shocked because they just assume, you know, you're like that because of what you look like. Honestly, that's it. Yeah, that's all I was gonna say.
All right, so yeah, I totally agree with you. I agree with you, Ahriel, that we shouldn't judge people based on, you know, first time impressions, right? Just physical appearance. I do agree with that, but let me try to. Other men out there that are just insecure. I agree. Yeah, there's a lot of men out there insecure, but let me try to explain to you from the man's perspective of why most men don't approach beautiful women. Which brings me back to our the topic that we talked about in the beginning. Like, you know, we have to, like, most as men and women, but especially for men, we kind of know where we stand as far as like our, you know, our value in the sexual marketplace and what type of women we can attract. And there's an understanding for everybody that we know, for both men and women, that the more attractive a person is, the more options they have. You know, we know that just a basic rule of principle, right? The more a prettier girl is, or the more attractive a guy is, we know, like, that there's people are out there pursuing that person, or, you know, he has some options of people trying to be with him. That's just the nature.
I have a question after you saying that.
No worries. I got you. But this is the thing. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No. So as men, we are the ones that we have to pursue, right? We're the ones that traditionally and normally we are the ones that have to approach you. Most women wouldn't approach a man if they're interested. Yeah. So you have to wait for the man to approach you. So for one of the things that's kind of one of the struggle, well, not struggles, but just one of the things that every man has to go through, especially when we approach women, is like we have to get rejected, right? We have to get rejected. So for a lot of men, you know, rejecting sucks, especially when you're younger. But as you grow older, you just realize it is what it is. But for a lot of men, they don't want to be rejected. And also, like I told you before, like for a lot of guys, like we think on a very probable, like we always look at things in a very logical and probable, based on probability perspective, where if we see a very attractive woman, right, and we know for a fact that she's very attractive, and we know that, you know, she has a lot of people, she has options, and we kind of look at ourselves and like, you know what, I'm at this level and she's at this level. Like, what chance do I have? And is it worth it for me to approach her when we know that the more attractive a woman is, the more options she has, and then you're only competing with every single guy that's trying to be with her, and a lot of those guys are probably have a better situation, status, money, looks, height, and then a lot of guys are like, you know what, it's there's no point. Let me just approach the women probably fit in my level. You know, there's a saying that goes like, you know, you have to stay in your lane, right? You don't want to overdate your lane or overdate your level. So I think that's one of the explanations, just to give you like, oftentimes it's not insecurity. Of course, it's men just insecure. For a lot of guys, that we know that the more attractive a woman is, we know that she gets attention from a lot of men, and then we're all competing for the same woman. And if you're not where you need to be as a man, because we look at ourselves and like, man, I'm at this and this and this, we're like, what are the chances of me being with that woman? And when we know there's a small chance that she may be a good guy, she may give me a shot. But if you've ever been in the shoes of a lot of guys, I mean, I've been a guy, and 90% of the people approaches, I got rejected. Right? So it is a number good. We know we're gonna be rejected, and then hopefully you find that one girl. But yeah, I think that's just how men see it. So just kind of give you guys a perspective of how men see it. Is like, we don't want to be rejected. So the way we mitigate the risk of being rejected, we kind of want to stay within our lane and approach women within our lane. Because we know if we want to approach women that's kind of out of our league or level or lane, we know that probability is we're probably going to be rejected, a high probability of rejected. So let's just stick to something that I have the highest chance of her giving me a shot. But for me, for my rule is, I like to approach beautiful women. The more attractive a woman is, I like to approach it because I know most men won't. So, maybe that's some out there. But for me, it's like, I know how men are, how men think. I know most men won't attract a beautiful woman. So for me, it's like, the more attractive a woman is, I know most men won't do it. So like,
that was what my question was gonna be.
Yeah, that gives for me.
A lot of people don't go up to an attractive woman. How would you think she has more options if most men don't go up to her because she's so attractive?
Well, I learned that, just trial and error. I approached this beautiful girl, and she gave me a shot. And then she told me, I was like, most guys will approach me, and I was like, oh, good to know. Now I know, I know. It makes sense, right? Most guys won't. And I was like, and that way for me is like, the more attractive a woman is, I'll approach it. And then I don't want to offend any girls out there, but if you're not at the highest, in the bottom level, every guy will approach you. If you're at the bottom level, like, most guys will approach you. But I know the higher the woman is, in as far as the attractive hierarchy, most men are gonna be insecure, or most men don't have they're afraid of being rejected because they don't think they could be in that level.
Right.
But I just know that one of the things experiences me talking to women who are very beautiful is just they've all told me like, oh, guys rarely hit them. They don't. If they do hit them, it's like they'll see them in public, but then they'll send them a DM on social media.
Right.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
It's easy to
way too many times.
Yeah.
But I have talked to women before, on this podcast, where the first guy that had the balls to approach her, she respected that guy because she knew it was very hard to approach her, and for her to see he had the courage and initiative, that was very attractive for her, for taking that risk. So, but nevertheless, but yeah, I see a lot of people on here. TL said it's not. TL said it's not that deep. I think Ty said also. What did he say? For every 99 rejections, you're about to get one yes. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I'm just talking about from the average guy. So like, the average guy out there, they know, like, they just, if you're gonna deal with a woman that's very attractive, we just know there's a lot of options. But I think as men, just take the shot. Like, if they say no, it's cool. If it says yes, hey, you just won the lotto. All right.
I would say too, like, guys think if a girl is very attractive, oh, she got options. But that's because they're seeing it from a guy's perspective. She may not even be looking at anybody or even focusing on that. Maybe she's, at a club because she's winding down from work or business, or, her kids. She just wants a night out, and she looked good as hell, but it's not that she's not available or doesn't want to be approached. It's just
I'll give you
mindset.
I'll give you a perfect example to kind of understand, because I do understand where you're coming from, but we all know like there's a lot of women out there very attractive and they have a lot of options, right? And the perfect explaining is, if you try to send a girl that, if you say it's on social media, right, and you see a girl that's very attractive on social media and you want to DM her, what are the chances of her reading your message if she has 1 million subscribers, 1 million followers, all right? Or DMing a girl that probably has like 500 subscribers, 500 followers. So we all know the girl that's very attractive that has 1 million followers, your message is gonna be lost within those thousands of messages of other men pursuing her as well, as far as the attention she's getting. But if you pursue a girl with like 500 followers, she's probably gonna see your message, and so the chances of getting her attention is a lot more. I mean, I just want to use that. So obviously, I think for men, like if you like it, just take a shot. There's nothing wrong with asking. If you get rejected, it is what it is. But if she says, give it an opportunity, I think in life, just take risks. And we can't live your whole life not taking a risk and be afraid. I don't think that's a good way, healthy way of seeing it. But just from the man's perspective, like we just know that it's a numbers game. Like we know we're gonna get rejected 99% of the time, and then the more attractive a woman is just higher that rejection, and also competing with other guys for attention. So it's just more logical way just to go with a girl that's in a normal level as you, I guess. I mean, Amanda, did you want to add on, Amanda?
No.
All right, no worries. Ahriel, appreciate that. I appreciate that for bringing in that subject. Thank you for that topic. Appreciate you. Let me pass it on to you, Amanda. Amanda, what's your topic or what's your question you want to bring on?
Oh, I just want to talk about spending money, like guys spending money on you. Like, I'm just curious, like, I don't know. I feel like, so someone I used to date from Atlanta, and he used to be like, oh yeah, women out there, like they expect you to like spend your money. Like, you know what I mean? And where I'm from in Rhode Island, it's not like, obviously take us out to eat and stuff, but it's not as high standards. So I just want to know, like, how do men view like spending money on a woman? Like, do you know what I mean? Is it just to like make her happy like in the beginning, or is it like, I don't know, like I just want to know more like how they think of it. Are they spending money because they really really like her, or is it just, you know what I mean? Just curious.
You're saying, Amanda, that a lot of men they don't want to spend money? Is that what you're saying? They don't want to spend money on a woman?
Huh? No. I'm saying like where I live in Rhode Island, it's not like expected. Whereas like different areas may be like, oh no, he needs to buy me a bag or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not like that. Like, I'm not materialistic. I like nice things, but it's not like I care more about like the connection we have and like, you know what I mean? Like the time we spend together and stuff like that. But I just want to know like men's perspective as far as spending money on a woman. Like, do you do that when you start dating her? Do you do that when you guys are together? Like,
okay, all right.
95% of everything on dates.
I know. Ty said I pay 90%. I pay 95% of everything on dates. Here's the trick: I use Groupon, and Coupon's 100%. Save the rest.
My guy, I give it to you.
The cars and video games. LOL. All right, no worries. I do have a public guest, like a public guest that wants to jump on real quick. So let me add him on. Hey, what's up, Fatty? Thank you for jumping on. I appreciate you for jumping on. And you came at the perfect time. Amanda has a question. That for a lot of men, how do we see when it comes to us spending money on certain women? Certain women, some guys don't want to spend money, but then there's certain women that we would like to spend money. How do we make that judgment as a man, whether we want to spend money on a woman or not?
First of all, I will, I guess. How are you? Um, the question, the we had a social contract before, like 10 years or 20 years or 30 years ago. Spending money was securing the bills.
Mhm.
I'm going to pay for the mortgage, the water. The problem is on the last few years, most women look at spending money as luxuries,
Mhm.
traveling, expensive dinners,
Mhm.
taking care of buying bags, da, 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 da. And that's the problem with guys not wanting to spend money is because it's a luxury. It's not. I don't know a man that is on financial condition of paying the bills or help with the bills or the medic or the doctor or something like that and says, no, I'm not going to spend money on that. The problem is the woman nowadays they want to flex and they want to flex and they think that the money that you owe them on a relationship is luxury money. Is going on. This is funny because I had this conversation with a friend. He pays the bills, every bill for almost a year, and she says he's stingy just because he has extra money and they could go to vacations 2 times or 3 times a year and they only will go one and these like big vacations. But she says she's stingy. Why? Because she looks to her friends, they're getting spoiled,
Yeah.
getting gifts, and she one thing that would be super good for a woman is she feeling, hey, this month I don't need to work or don't need to have any customer because even if everything goes bad, my husband is here and he's good to pay the bills. This is the maximum relief that you can give to someone.
Yeah.
The ability to fail on your business, on your dreams, on your projects, on school, and having someone that is willing to pay the basic bills so you don't have to worry about where you sleep and what you eat.
Yeah.
But those standards, for some reason, are gone. They are good for the first month, and then the competition starts. And that's why most men don't want nines or a tens in terms of looks because they know they are competing right from the get-go, and that's like a survival mechanism. I wouldn't date if I was a woman. I wouldn't date a star athlete. I wouldn't. That's
Yeah.
my survival mechanism. I know the problems that come with that. So when somebody calls them pussy, no, it's realism. It's realism. Amber Rose is looking at me. She has millions of dollars. She has so many guys around her. I'm going to sleep with her, and and I'm going to go home on my car and say, yeah, that night was great. I'm not going to dream about having a life with her. I'm not on her level, so I'm going to stop and be realistic. And I think women usually need to look at it pragmatically. This guy helps me. He makes my life easier. Even if he's one bill, if the guy makes your life easier, then it will be. If he's not in your life, that's great.
Yeah.
All right, no worries. Thank you for sharing that, Fatty. This is a good. This is actually a great topic. This is the first time somebody brought the topic up, so this is a great topic, Amanda.
Oh, thanks. I just thought of it.
But I think it is a very important topic to discuss for men. And for me personally, as a guy, I do believe the same as Fatty. I think for men, you should be. For me, like you should pay for everything. Part of the responsibility of being a leader and being the provider, protector of the family, you should be able to take care of the woman. If she wants to work, that's optional for her. But for me personally, I like my women very feminine. So I like her to, if she wants to work, she can, but she doesn't have to. She wants to, spend time for herself, especially when she gets pregnant and wants to take care of the kids. I don't want that pressure for her to have to go to work. Like she can just rely on me, and just she can just take care of my kids for me. Uh, but for me, one of the things I like to do is because I always will pay for every day, but I always like to pay for everything for the woman because I think one of the topics that you have, one of the things that I think a lot of people fail to bring up in relationships is the management of finances. I think people don't often bring that up,
Yeah.
especially in relationships. How are we going to manage our finances? How are we going to budget? How are we going to plan for the future? I think that's a topic that people don't you do it too late when those problems come later. I think those are things definitely have to come on, especially if you're a man out there that's working on a goal and a dream and a business, and you work so hard to build something with your life, and you want to share it with another woman. But one of the reasons I like to splurge my woman, I like to like provide her with gifts and pay for every single date, because I want to see how she responds to that, right? If I pay for everything and I take a woman out, and I see that you're always wanting more, like, I take you to a restaurant, hey, I want to go to a better restaurant. If I pay for everything and then you want something more, if I pay for a bag, I don't like doing it, because I enjoy spoiling my woman. It's just I just like that. I just like taking care of her. It's just part of my ability to take care of you. I enjoy that because I've worked hard for something I get to share with somebody I like. But I just do it on purpose, just to kind of see how you react. And then sometimes in the past I've done it, and they always wanting more. And I can kind of see her behavior and how she sees money. That's something that we can just use and don't think about, how we're gonna save for the future. So when I see women that don't have no concern about how I spend my money, or no concern, hey, maybe this is okay. I don't need it anymore. She's very humble. She's very humble in her way, her spending habits. That's important to me because as a relationship, we're gonna have an account. I have to trust you that you're not just gonna blow our bank account in like a week. All right. So I looked at and a lot of guys that happens for a lot of guys. I do it at the beginning. I pay for everything, and I just see how she responds. Right, and she just asks me for more and more and more, and I just see that there's no concern from her to ask me, hey, you know what? If you're paying for everything, let me pay for the next one. I want to see if she offers, and that means I do see that she does care about the money that I was spending into her, because she wants to like reciprocate what I'm doing with her financially. But if I don't see that she cares at all of how I'm spending my money financially, she's just enjoying the gifts and the lavishes and the fun, and there's no concern of how that money comes. And I do see that it's one of the reasons why she's attracted to me. And that'll be a concern for me, because what happens if like my business goes down and money comes low, right? Is that going to be an issue? If right now I got it now, but I don't know, maybe something happens 3, 4, 5 years from now from my business and things don't go well. Are you going to be upset that we have to bring down our lifestyle financially because I have to readjust my business? So I kind of see it from the beginning. I do it on purpose. I like to spend money just to see how she responds. She's very conservative in the way she spends her spending habits. Even though I tell her let's do this, but I'm okay with this, and I like that. But if she just loves the lifestyle, and I know that she loves it, she gets attracted, she gets addicted to it, then I know that that's what she's gonna be expecting, and I have to keep that level. And if something happens, that may cause an issue in our relationship. So that's just the way I see it when it comes to finances.
But don't you think it will happen, Will? That's the problem. That's the expectations. This is the problem. Tupac had one story that is like an homeless when he goes to the church first time. He beats on the door. Please give me some food. Please, I'm hungry. The second time, please give me. At the 10th time, open the door. Give me my food. You see, because expectations go. First you ask, and when it starts to get, usually it's a habit. When you take that, most women don't look that as, okay, he did very good for me for 10 years. Now it's time for me to hold it down for 3 years. And that's the problem I usually have with women, is the notion of credit. Even on their relationships as friends. Imagine, me and you are friends. You was with me when my father died. You helped me move. You helped me get my car right. When you fail me, I say, Will had 7 credits with me because he was a very good friend. Even though he failed me yesterday, I'm going to keep doing it. And I usually see women that are friends for 15 years had one disagreement and never talk with each other again because they don't have the notion of credit. They usually understand, what did you do for me lately, right now? And they use it with their friends, and they usually do with their husbands and boyfriends. And that's my problem with giving. Give her a car, give her an expensive vacation, and she will not be happy with everything that will come the next year, unless he's on the level or he's on the level up. And that's the problem.
but that's what I said is that you have to look at how she responds to it, right? So
Yeah.
for me, it's like because I guess I like doing it. I think as a man, you have to. I think I want to be able to provide that security for her.
Yeah,
But
for you,
yeah,
that's
go
how
ahead.
you express your love. Like
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
sounds
for
like
me.
that's
Yeah,
part
but
of
I like
how
that.
you
But
express.
how are you going to do it? Are you going to how does it say? You're going to make like fake, like a fallout. Oh, I'm unemployed and now I have to move to. Are you going to do
No,
for 6 months?
no, it's
Because
just
that's
no,
the
it's
really.
no, it's observing her behavior, but also it's real simple. It's communication. You sit down and you plan out. Okay, look, I know we're not well in the dating phase. Of course, like we splurge and stuff, but then when things get serious, I'm looking and when I start feeling okay, this is the type of woman I'm looking for long term, and I probably want to marry this woman. I will sit down and I will lay to her my expectations this is what I did in the dating phase. When we get married, the way I spend my money is gonna be different when we dated. You know,
Yeah.
when we dated, I like to do this when we dated, but now we're married. Now we're gonna have children. I want to invest for our future now, so I'm not gonna just buy you a bag every single week. I'm gonna hit my these goals I want to achieve for my business. So I'm gonna let her know these takes priority right now financially, and then those goals and those other things that you guys want, like that's probably gonna be something that's gonna be secondary. But I'll break it all down for her. I'll let her know this is how I manage my finances, and then if she's okay with it, she's like, you know what, you okay with it, and she agrees with it, then that's fine. But if she doesn't agree with it, you know what, so you're telling me that when we get married that we're not going to be having fun, that we're not going to be going on vacations like we did when we were just dating. I'm like, yeah, that's not going to happen when we're married, because we're married now, right? So we have a family, and I'm going to invest more into our future for our kids and our grandchildren. So and if she has a problem with that, like I think that's the thing. You got to lay it out to her the way you're gonna spend your money and the exact way you do it when you're gonna be married, and you lay it out on the table. And if she doesn't like it, then you can see. And like I said, just based on her responses,
You
but
think you can
also
see, Will?
yes, because you also get an opportunity to see her brain as well. Because
I think not.
a woman, I'm telling you, if you meet women who think about their finances, and they have a financial mindset, they will also bring some more to your plan and to your conversation. Oftentimes, the women never think about money. When you have those open communication with them, they don't say anything. Like they have nothing much to bring to your table.
I, to be honest, I don't think not. You know why? I think woman with money is the same thing with men saying that they're going to be faithful for 40 years. I'm going to do it, baby. Yeah, don't worry, no problem. I'm going to do it. You that if you can trust someone like the vows for riches and for poor on wealth and da 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 da, and you know most women, most marriages
I
don't
mean,
last because people change and they change their mind, and what they were good on the first day is not good on the seventh year. How can you be like? She can say, "Yeah, I'm going to do it. I trust you, and we're not going to leverage it." And then she gets a promotion or she changes work, and our group of friends are spoiled friends. These are not the same friends that usually were okay staying home,
oh,
watching the movies.
Communication.
what the communication is key. But for me, is like me personally, I like to date women that want to be that want to be a they want to be a wife, they want to be a wife, and they want to raise children. So I don't typically look for women that really want to excel in the corporate ladder. There's nothing against those women. It's just I just prefer, like, for me, like, I know the dynamic of how I like it. I like to be the provider protector, and I like women that they just want to support me, and they want to raise children, and that's what they're comfortable with. Because I do understand that if I'm very ambitious and I pair myself with another ambitious woman, I know that our goals and dreams is going to conflict with each other. So that's going to cause issues. So that's why the way I mitigate that is I like to just pursue women that just they just want to raise a family, they want kids, and then they just want to be with a good husband, and then we raise a good family, and that's how I mitigate that, because I've been with successful women before, and I know that she has her dreams and goals that she wants to do for her business. And I know that's going to cause issues when we both want a business, we both want to be successful, but then how are we going to have kids, and how is that going to work out if we both want to be successful, and who's going to take care of the kids? Who's going to do this?
So you want a woman that doesn't want dreams or goals. You just want a woman who strictly wants to be a stay-at-home mom.
No, I
Is that
don't.
what
Like, for me, it's like I don't. For me, I don't mind a woman having goals and dreams, but I will tell her that up front in the beginning, if we're gonna get serious, I tell her, hey, like for me, it's like I prefer to be the one going out there and working. Now, if you want to work and have a goal and dream of yourself as a woman, that's fine. But as far as like raising the children and being the person that's gonna stay home and take care of the kids, I know for a fact that I'm not gonna do it. Like I'm gonna be out there grinding and making things happen. Now, like I said, she doesn't like that. That's fine. But I'm gonna be upfront. Like this is
Yeah.
from
Well,
measure-
because nowadays you can do both. You can have dreams, goals, work, and take care of your kids.
Would you accept
Yeah.
someone, Amanda, that would say,
yeah,
go chase your dreams, and I'm going to stay home with the kids, and you pay the bills? Do you accept that?
What did you
Would
say?
you accept someone? Would you accept someone that say, "Oh, you want to pursue your dreams? Go pursue your dreams and pay the bills. I'm going to stay with the kids at home, and you pay everything."
I personally would rather date someone who's just as ambitious as me and it's on the same page and work. I love to work. That makes me happy. So I would want someone who, like, if you're going to be home with the kids harassing me all day, like, you need to get a job. Like, you know what I mean? That's what I want. Like, you need to have your own life and I have my own life, and then we're still make it work.
But 90% of the women are on the same boat as you. The problem Will is not saying for you to be at home. You can go to the gym, you can have an online business, you can still at home do something that is good for you. Go to the movies with your friends, have some dinner at home. You can do that. The problem with women usually is that they want, like you said, separate lanes. The first is the family. If I made 7,000 a month and you make 2,000, and those 2,000 don't are not enough to, it's rather you being at home with the kids. You'd be better at home, like taking care of the kids, because those 2,000 will go to the nanny, to something like that.
Yeah, it all depends on your lifestyle, and it depends on a lot of different things.
Because this is, I mean, for me, it's like the way I see it is like if we both are ambitious and we both have our goals and we both want to make it, right? And anybody that knows this, if you want to be very successful, that takes a lot of sacrifice and time away from you and your personal time and from your family. If you want to make it, if you want to build something. So the thing is, for me, is like I would prefer with a woman that would, I don't mind her having a business, but I want her to prioritize the family first over the business, but she can still pursue a business if she wants to. Because if I'm grinding and you're grinding, and then say one of our kids has a recital, one of our kids has a doctor, one of our kids has something, a baseball game, I would prefer somebody to be there for to represent us as
that's gonna hold it down for sure.
Yeah.
Compliment.
But if we're both busy, if we're both busy, for me, that's gonna be an issue. That's gonna be an issue if you're working on if you have something going on with your work at your career. I'm doing my career as well, and then our kids gonna be left. I don't want my kids to be left without their parents growing up that our parents that was never there. And for me, I know for a fact that it's like, look, I'll tell my wife, hey, you can have a business. I want you to have a goal. If you want to do something online, you want to be an entrepreneur, but I want you to prioritize our kids first over the thing, and just trust me. I'm gonna go out there and sacrifice my life, my personal time, and making sure that my kids never have to worry about their future financially. And that's my going forward. Yeah. But see, like I said, you don't have to do it. You don't have to. If you know what, I want my goals and dreams. I respect that, but that's why I'm upfront on everything. I'll let her know, and if she doesn't like it, I was like, oh, that's fine. I respect that. Go chase the goals and dreams. I just know for a fact that if you go into a relationship when you're both ambitious and career oriented, then who's gonna be left to raise the children? Because for me, I grew up where my dad worked a lot and my mom worked a lot, and I didn't really have a lot of time with my parents, and there was a lot of issues I went through myself growing up as a kid. So I don't want that.
You want to make sure your kids have a healthy
family dynamic. So both my parents worked.
That's your way of securing that.
Yeah, and I never had that. I never had my relationship with my parents. It's okay. It's just I never had that growing up.
Yeah,
I kind of want to change that dynamic when I have a family.
And let's be honest, Will. When a man starts to get some type of money, women usually drop their dreams real quick. They usually drop their dreams. I have a dream of being this and that. The guy starts getting 2,000 or 3,000 a month. Maybe I'm not going to wake up at 7 a.m. to go to a work that I really don't like. And That's very dangerous because I saw a lot of resentment in a guy that played with me because it felt like the dreams of women are optional. Are optional. So a woman can say in 2022, "I have dreams. You need to support me." And 2025, she can really drop everything and say, "Okay, you pay the bills. You have enough money. I'm going to take care of the bills." For the man, it's not optional. He doesn't have the options of, "Oh, I'm going to give up everything I'm going to do now and going to pursue my dreams," and that will uh, generate a lot of resentment, in my opinion, because most women and most people usually change their mind. They
Let
change
me
it.
let me ask the ladies. Ladies, like, do you want do you want to work for the rest of your life?
I mean, how many hours?
You
No,
see?
honestly, I know what he's saying, but I'm the type of person like I can't see myself. I mean, listen, I'm a single mom with 3 kids. I've been doing it on my own for a while.
Yes.
But when you have maternity leave, you're home, you're taking care of the kids. So I'm the type of person I definitely need something to keep me, like something else, I like to work. So that's not something I'd ever want to stop doing. Would I work part-time if he was, working a lot of hours and no one was with the kids? Like, of course, like I would definitely work less. 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, like for me, for men, like we have this understanding that our role in life in this world is to work and take care of our family to the day we die. That's just the role of a man. But let me ask you, like, as a woman, like, I know you guys are still young and you guys want to have your goals and dreams, but is there a certain age where you'll, because, I see women today, like 60, 70, 80, still working. And I see this at the grocery store. And that bothers me because a lot of times when I have conversations with older women that have to work, a lot of times their men never invested early in their younger to make sure that they're secure financially in the future. So now they're forced to work longer. But for a lot of women, as they get older, like if you're older, like in your 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, most women don't want to work. But let me ask you guys, like, at what age do you like, I don't want to work no more? I know I want to work now because I'm still young. But at what age, like, you just like, you know what, I don't want to work no more. I just want to rely on my man to take care of me. At what age does that stop?
If you say less than 40, I'm going to jump out of the screen.
For you guys,
I don't know. I mean, if he's in a good financial position and I don't have to work and I have kids and I have grandkids, I'm not working. I mean, whatever.
But what age for you, like, you want to stop? Like,
I don't
50,
know.
60?
I mean, I would love to retire at 50 if I could.
Okay, 50. Okay, 50.
It's the same for me. And when it comes for my situation, I'm doing what I do because I love it. I've always wanted to be a singer literally since I was younger. So to me, I don't necessarily see it as work. I do take a professional standpoint on what I do because at the end of the day, it comes down to, making money so I can pay my bills and things like that. But even if my partner is making more than enough money to pay the bills, go on vacations and have time for us, supply everything that our kids need, that we need, then for me, I'm still going to continue doing what I do because I love music and I don't see it as work.
Yeah.
I love singing. I love the feeling that I get when I'm performing my songs to people that love listening to them, that enjoy that feeling. So for me, it's like, even if the person that I'm with can supply everything, I want to continue to make music and do all that stuff. I would like to not have to grind as much as I know I have to now to make a secure future for myself and for my kids. So at 50, I want to be able to be with someone who can, make sure that our kids are good, that we're good at, 50. And if I can, just maybe go to the studio here and there, like you said, Will, like she can have goals and ambitions still and, do what she wants, but just not have that as a priority over anything else, over her families and kids, then that's like, I'm in the same spot. But for me, I'm gonna keep making music until I can't no more, or whatever happens with my voice, or I, get the time to retire. But around 50, I would definitely already like to have my family and be with someone who, we don't have to worry about money, because we're both secure. And for me, I want to make sure, like, if you don't got it, if something's going on with you, I can hold it down if need be. And I want to make sure that right now, especially me being in my 20s and, being with someone who's young as well, grinding and having our fun now and doing everything so that when we get to that point, when from being born to when they're older, they don't have to worry about anything. They don't have to worry about grinding all day long. I definitely want them to learn responsibility and understand that, you have to work hard for things that you want. It doesn't always just come presented to you. But knowing that they have parents that are there for them no matter what, they can talk to, they can depend on, they have the support, is really important to me.
Yeah, for me, I believe that, this is me personally. I believe a man should work to make sure that he can financially support the woman in the family 100%. And then if the woman wants to work, that's optional. That's great. Because I do understand that long term, there will be a point for women where they, you don't want to work no more, right? And when that time comes for a woman, when we get 50, we get 60, physically it's going to be hard for you. As men, we're built, a little bit stronger, so we're kind of built biologically to keep working. But I know for a lot of women, as they get older, like there will be a point in time you don't want to work no more, and I think you should allow, if you're taking care of responsibility, to take care of her, so she can comfortably just step away from the workforce and continue being with the kids, and continue being a mom, a grandma, if she gets to that point. But I think it causes a lot of stress for women who get very at an older age, that they have to work because they have no other option, and that can cause issues within the relationship. When I've seen it because
what about you? Like, when would you wanna, have to worry about work less and prioritize your family as well? Like, you being there as their dad, having both your parents are extremely important.
Oh, that's a great question, because that's the difference between for men and women. Like, as like men, we like things. We like spending time. We like to go out and work, right? We're not as social as collaborator as women, where you like to be with the people, with socially and with the kids. So like I find joy in just working and building something for myself, and also creating a legacy for my kids. I don't think I would feel uncomfortable if I was home with my kids all the time. Even though I do want to spend quality time, obviously I want to spend quality time. But my concern for me is just making sure that I can create a future for them, and make sure that my family never has to worry about financial issues and struggles that I grew up with. So for me, it's like I'll be crazy. I know I can do it like for a couple hours or a couple weeks, but it would drive me crazy being at home. I feel comfortable going out there and doing it as long as I can, as hard as I can, as much time that God gives me on this planet Earth. And I think for men, we're just wired that way. We're built. We just like to work, and we like to do things. I think for women, not only I know you guys have the opportunity to work, but I think biologically, as we get older, that has a big effect on women, where you do want to step away from the workforce. And I think as a man, a woman should allow that. Should be able to do that, and she has to keep working in the relationship. And also for me, it's like I want to enjoy the relationship even when I get older. Like, I don't want us to like work. I've seen this happen for a lot of couples. They'll just work all the way to the 60s, 70s, 80s, and there's no longer like a relationship. I still want to have fun with my wife in the 60s. I want her to have time to go take care of her body and still be sexy at 40 and 50 and 60. I see, I want her to have time with herself. So that way, she's still attractive to me even when she gets older, and I still enjoy the relationship. But I've seen it now in modern society where both parties are working, that there's no time for each other no more, even when we get older, where we're just constantly working. You just hi and bye, hey, how you doing? Come home, sleep, and there's no longer relationship. And I've seen that with personally with my family, where the older couples, there's no longer like a relationship between them. It's because both parties have to work, and they work all the way to till they pass away. And I think I don't want that in my future, in my relationship of what I want to create.
Yeah.
But yeah, hey, thank you so much for everybody out there. I know a lot of people on the live chat. But yeah, ladies, Ahriel, Amanda, any final thoughts real quick on that discussion as far as money?
Oh, I was just gonna say one thing. I think that's why I don't ever want to stop working. I think for me, it's like I've been there where I'm like so consumed with my kids, and you lose yourself sometimes. And I think for me, I don't ever want to stop working because it makes me happy and I don't ever want to lose myself again, type of thing.
Gives you that sense of self.
I think that's the part where I'm like, oh no, I want to keep working.
Can I ask the question?
Yeah, let me ask one question, and I got you, Fatty, and we'll close it up. Ladies, like, so I know you guys want to work, but would you be okay with a man that he can take care of you, but he allows you, it's optional for you to, you can still pursue your goals and dreams, but all he asks is, all he asks of you is, when it comes to the children, can you just make that a priority? That's all he asks. Like,
Oh,
do your
what
thing.
woman's gonna say no to that?
You'd be
well, a lot of modern women today, because we grew up in a society where we tell women to put the career first. A lot of women are not willing to make that compromise. If a man says, "Hey, can you just please put your dreams down here and put our family right here?" A lot of women are like, "No."
Oh well, okay. Now that you rephrased it, I don't know because listen, because I'm in my 30s, I like I said, I've been mom, like doing it on my own, and now I'm as you grow as a person, you're like, oh, maybe you build confidence. You're like, oh, maybe I want to try this, maybe I want to try this. So I'm supposed to not. So like now that we're having this conversation, now I'm like, who do I date? Like, do I date someone who doesn't want to do anything because I'm the ambitious one? Like, because I felt like, to be honest, like I was going to go to nursing school, right? And I didn't because of the fact that I knew I was the sole caretaker. Like their dad is not that present, and I needed to be that present parent in their life. So I put my stuff on hold for so long that I don't think at this point I would do it again.
Yeah.
My question is simple, and
ahead.
Will is providing a scenario where you don't have to compromise at all. And you guys were talking about Kevin Samuels. One phrase that you usually said is "fuck your dreams," and I'm going to put it on the other side so you understand. Imagine Ahriel is an artist. Imagine I'm a stand-up comic, right? Me and Ahriel are boyfriend and girlfriend, or we are married, but I'm not making money. I'm an artist. I'm not making money. Google, I'm a computer programmer.
Yeah.
Apple or something like that call me and say, hey, we have a 200, 300,000 a year job for you. You can come work with us. Mm-hmm. Most women would call that man crazy if he didn't pick the job and be content with once a month stand-up comedy on a lousy bar just for him to have his fun and do the work. And most men will do that. Like Will said, we are pragmatic. Mm-hmm. The point we see now is that when a man asks a woman the same thing, hey man, I wanted to be a stand-up comedian, but I'm not. I'm here paying the bills. Please sacrifice too. And that's the problem with nowadays on the relationships, is because women want to have it all. And I think it's a little bit of programming because of I'm going to be strong and independent. But it's very difficult to accept but it's very difficult to accept that when the man is constantly asking for doing sacrifices, even for his own happiness. Do you think Will likes his job? But Will doesn't like to work 70 hours or 80 hours a week. It will be great if he was 40, but he's going to work 70. That's a sacrifice he is doing. So to me, it's very strange that the man constantly has to sacrifice to be what you guys want us to be. Mm-hmm. And then when I come to you and say, you want to be a professional singer, but that doesn't make any money to us. Can you please take care of the kids and go to the studio 1 or 2 times a month, and I will pay for that? And the fight starts because you are, when we break up, he was controlling, he didn't want me on the studio, and and that's the problem. It's like I don't know saying this in English, but it's a job that doesn't pay. It's a job that is like being most guys say, like being a thankless job.
Mm-hmm.
You are doing your work and you are asking for sacrifice, and then at some point the chain snaps. So I just wanted to ask that, just because I don't see men putting their dreams. I don't see men saying, "Oh, I need to pay the bills, but I want to see the world. I will be here in 5 years." I don't see that. So
And like Amanda, I totally understand, bro, your situation. You have 3 kids. I think as women, if you don't have a man that can do that for you, I think you should self-prioritize for yourself and make sure that you take care of yourself, be independent, and make sure you can handle yourself financially. All I'm saying is, if you happen to meet a guy that's like, hey, I want to be with you, I prefer to take care of you. I don't want I don't want you to work ever, because as men, that's how we like to provide and protect a woman. All I'm saying is just be open. Don't see that as like he wants to control you or yours. I'm just saying, like, I think they just kind of think about it. But I think a lot of times for a lot of women, if they are very independent, if a man comes in and asks you to kind of like let him to depend on him.
I don't think it's so much as independence. I think it's just more of like we're doing what makes us happy.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? So why should we have to sacrifice what makes us happy?
Would you accept the guy that
you know what I
stand up
mean?
and not?
Why would any man that I'm with should want me to do something that makes me happy? Why would you want to take that away from me? So like my job could make me really happy. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but flip it. Would you say, like, if you had that guy, he's a great guy, you guys get along, but he's a stand-up comedian, and he has a one opportunity to get a lot of money that will make your kids, your life. You would look at him, come on, man, what the fuck is this? This is very happy. Go to work, get the money, we'll be happy in 10 or 15 years. This is an obligation for men, and that's why we look at you like, if we don't look at life.
Well, if he didn't make any money, I wouldn't date. I mean, I have 3 kids. I'm not dating someone who doesn't.
Yeah. No.
But why his happiness can be sacrificed, but your happiness can't?
What I think it's just about expectation. What I'm saying is, a matter of like, I know you do what makes you happy, but he's proposing, hey, like, I want to be with you. Obviously, you want to work. I know I want to work as well. I think every relationship, there has to be some form of compromise, but that's up to the individuals in that relationship to figure out what's happening. But I think what you need to ask yourself a lot of times, what people don't see is like focus on the long term. I think a lot of women, when they work, they just think, oh, I want to work now, but do you want to really work to your 40, to your 50, to 60? I think for a lot of men, when we communicate with women, we have to be very specific and lay it out and plan it for them so they can see. Don't just go up there, hey, give up your job. And no, don't. That's not going to happen.
Everything needs to be specific, and it comes.
It has to be very specific. Yeah. So lay it out. Hey, I understand that you wanted your job and it makes you happy, but Amanda, think about this. I want you to make sure that you don't have to work again when you're 50, 60, 70.
Right.
Isn't a good compromise just to compromise right now with me? So that way, when you're 50 or 60 or 70, we're chilling at the beach, right? So maybe
compromise may not be for everyone. It's
exactly.
That's why, like Will, you were saying, you try to figure out how a woman responds to you spending money, and in her response, you'll get an idea of the type of person and character that she is. When you do that, you have those conversations, and you need to have those uncomfortable conversations, because at the end exactly, uncomfortable conversations are going to help you in the long run figure out, what your plans were, where you wanted to take things, and how you view or get shit done. And at the end of the day, you have to meet people, and if they say, no, I'm not okay with doing this, or I'm okay with doing this, then, respecting that decision and move on. There is people all over the world, and half the time, a lot of people who have fallen in love, there's love stories, someone travels across the world and meets someone in a completely different country, and they fall in love even though they can't communicate, just because, they were able to have some kind of connection, but they learned to have some type of communication later on. But there's so many people, and it's so unfair to yourself just to think that the women that are all over the world are all the same in your area, when there's literally so many different cultures, so many different people, so many different values that people hold everywhere. I mean, I am very different in terms of like the people that I grew up around and the values that I know that they had. I can't say they may have those same values now because, I don't communicate with them. But if I'm going based on the past, it is very different, but it's completely okay. We're different people. I don't expect everyone to be me or see things my way. You want to have a family, but I don't want to have a family yet, then that's completely okay. We agree to disagree and not hold, resentment towards each other for that. And I think that's where it comes down to, is having that respect and communicating. If, getting with someone and, okay, are you willing to make this compromise when it happens? Okay, this is my plan. I want to work and provide. I don't want you to have to worry about it when it comes down to a family. Are you willing to compromise? And, you still get to do things you love, but can you make sure the kids are taken care of? Yes. Okay, great. If not, that's okay. I completely understand that. I hope everything works out for you and you keep going and, you meet new people, new experiences, and, maybe you meet someone sooner than later, or maybe you don't.
Yeah.
Hey, Ahriel, you're spitting facts. Ahriel, spitting facts. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, exactly. That's why I said it. I think in the beginning we have to manage our expectations and lay it out on the table very specifically, so that way both parties can see what, if they like it or don't like it, they can walk away, but don't try to do it when you're later on in a relationship. That's what's called cause a lot of issues.
Right.
Thank you again. TL said again, that's not that deep. Manage your expectations from the get-go during the dating phase.
I always say the dating phase is not the phase
exactly.
to know someone. You get to know someone before you start dating.
Man, I have a real quick question to conclude. So you said that who's your man of your dreams? Just throw it out there. Who's your man of your dreams?
The man of my dreams? Oh God, why are you asking me? All right. He believes in God. Not only believes in God, but follows God. Family oriented. Has a sense of humor. Enjoys watching movies like I do. Loves to eat like I love to eat. What else? Obviously, huh?
Like who's a great example of the man of your dreams, like in real life that we know, like a famous person?
I don't have one.
I don't have someone that's like
who would be the best example you would use, somebody that's well known.
I'm trying to think. I don't know. Oh, Lord.
Actor, singer.
Say Justin Bieber.
No.
These are East Coast ladies. They're tough. Justin Bieber is not too soft for them.
Justin Bieber.
Will Smith. Michael B. Jordan. Idris Elba.
Michael B. Jordan.
Oh, Idris. What did he say? I love him.
Idris Elba.
Idris Elba.
Yes, I love him.
Is it Idris Elba?
Yeah.
Idris Elba approached you. If you met Idris Elba and Elba was like, "Hey, just be with me. You don't have to worry about work. Just give it up and just follow me." What are you gonna say?
Like, take me now.
No, my dream.
Wait, what happened to your career? What happened to your job?
I have dreams.
I can still do both. I can do both.
But you see, it only depends on the type of mansion. If the mansion is big enough,
there it is.
You see, but if the mansion is big enough, they're okay. Oh, fuck my dreams. Fuck
man will make sacrifices for.
So that's what I'm saying is, if you meet the man of your dreams, it's gonna happen. But anyways, thank you so much, Amanda. I don't like I said, a lot of women, Kendra Alba that's I think the most man of your dreams for the women out there. But we have come to the conclusion of the podcast. Thank you so much for everybody out there. I think Ty said Big Sean, man of your dreams. Homer Simpson. Oh, but ladies, thank you so much for being on the podcast. We had a great show tonight, and shout out to all the people, everybody on the live chat. Thank you for giving us your feedback and tuning in for the entire show. Thank you so much. But ladies, just to finalize the end of the show, First and foremost, thank you for taking the time and being on here. I really enjoyed your presence and your thoughts and the discussions. What's your takeaway from tonight's discussion? What's your final thoughts from what we discussed tonight? And how can people find you? I know a lot of people are watching this right now. They want to follow you, support you on your platforms. How can people find you? So, Amanda, what's your final thoughts from tonight's discussion, and how can people find you?
Oh, I thought it was great. I'm like, I need to reevaluate what I want now. I haven't been dating for so long, and now I'm like, I want to date again. And now this conversation's like, all right, I need to really. I think honestly, my takeaway is just getting to the nitty gritty from the beginning when you're first meeting the person. You know what I mean? Not waiting months to tell them whatever.
Yeah.
Figuring out if they want to do whatever, like figuring out their future goals, financial goals, all that from the beginning, knowing what they want, and what they expect from me as a woman. Because I never looked at any of these things before this conversation. Can I put my Instagram in the chat or no?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
How do I do that? I'm looking for the thing.
Just put it on the comment. There's a comment section, and just click on that, and you should be able to post a comment.
Or you can post it on private, and we'll post it on the.
Oh, all right. I can just from where I am. I can only do it on the private one, so I'll just put it there. But I'll just drop my Instagram, and you guys can follow me if you want. But this was great.
With good luck, Eldris will be listening to this podcast, and we will add you, and you'll say, "Hey, how are you, Amanda? I saw the podcast."
They're gonna be like, they're gonna be like, you bitch, you're like a money hungry. I don't know.
No worries. Amanda, thank you so much. I'll definitely drop your links on the description below so people can find you. But I appreciate having you on, Amanda. Thank you for sharing your feedback. I'll pass it on to Ahriel. What was your final takeaway from tonight's podcast, and how can people find you?
My takeaway was just, I just want to prioritize communication now. I'm just imagining just talking to like my male friends and other guys, like, where do you stand on this? What's your viewpoints? Like, I want to know more now. And a lot of this was really enlightening, especially, and just a good reminder of like, you never know what someone wants until you ask, and you have to ask. And just showing me communication is super important, and being completely straightforward. And a lot of the times I find myself being a little shy and holding back a little bit, but not being shy and, being bold and letting everybody know from the jump, this is what I want. This is what you can expect from me. Let me know what you want, what you expect from me, and, respect everyone's boundaries and their wishes, and let the relationships be defined by those and not defined by, what I think or what I thought, and that there's always more to learn. But my Instagram is Ahriel__. I will have them posted in the chat, so you guys can follow me.
I just posted Amanda's IG on the chat. So,
got you.
For Amanda on there as well. But definitely. Thank you so much, Ahriel. Thank you so much and Amanda as well.
Thank you so much.
Shout out to you guys on the live chat. Thank you for your feedback, and thank you for the comedy and the funny comments and the crazy comments that you guys posted. I really appreciate that. And Jamarli, I just said keep going, Toka. Proud of you, man. The man above continue to bless you and guide you closer to your dreams. And thank you so much, Jamarli. You always been there since day one when I started my podcast. I appreciate you for always supporting me, man. I appreciate you guys. And Fatty, thank you for being a public guest to join these discussions. We do this show every single Saturday, so if you miss out tonight's show, you just hopped on. Definitely go back to the beginning and watch. We had some great discussions about the topics we discussed tonight, and of course, we're gonna have one next week. Somebody asked, ladies. Ty asked. Let me bring up. He said, Ty asked, 90-day update. Do the women agree to come back? Ladies, what do you think?
Oh yes, definitely.
I'm totally down.
Yeah.
I'm totally down.
All right, no worries. So we'll find out.
I might have a man by then.
Exactly. You can update us. You can update. Give us an update.
If she comes and says he's an actor, I'm going to lose my mind. I'm going to say, "Oh, show
Listen,
him."
you're speaking it into existence. Keep it coming.
Yeah, Amanda. Next time Amanda's gonna come up. I gave up my job for this guy. I gave up my dreams.
This podcast changed my life forever.
I was like, okay, congratulations. No worries. Like I said, ladies, thank you so much for being on tonight's show. For everybody on the show and everybody on the live chat, thank you so much. You guys have a very blessed night. Goodbye, ladies.
Thank you.
Have a good night. See you guys next week.
Bye.
Yep. All right.